new follower, Jacob RD8. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Anyway, welcome. Going to be talking about Superalgos again today. Going to walk you through setting up your profile in the governance system. Superalgos had their airdrop earlier this week. And there were a lot of questions around how to actually get your profile created and uploaded. So I'm going to try and walk through that for you today, and then walk through some pieces of the code base that I've actually been working on myself. The announcement system. I will try to show you how to create announcements, sending different actions that are happening in your trading system over to Discord or Slack. Excuse me. We also have, I just wrote a Twitter bot, and Telegram was already there. So you have a lot of options. I am currently using Slack and Discord, mainly to keep myself up to date with what my trading system is doing. But I guess there are other use cases for it as well. So let's get started. So if you have not already, you're going to want to go to the main Superalgos website. And I'm sorry, I just had somebody. I'm gonna let everybody know that we are live. So if anybody has any questions, they can go ahead and ask. And I have Discord there so that I can show you how to add in the bot. But anyway, starting off, you want to go to github.com, Superalgos, the Superalgos project. You'll want to click this fork button. And I already have it forked, so I'm going to go ahead and click on my fork. I actually already had it open here. But now you'll want to click on this code button. And if you're a super cool, awesome Linux developer, you'll want to go ahead and grab this SSH. But if you are somebody who is not as proficient in GitHub and Git and development, I hate this about Brave, but anyway, click the GitHub CLI button. And when you use GitHub CLI, I guess that's not open. This is what I was trying to point out. The open with GitHub desktop. This here is your GitHub desktop. If you're a Windows user, probably would be interested in running this. You can see my current repository is Superalgos. I'm not going to walk through adding it in because there are plenty of documentation on how to use GitHub desktop itself. But you can see I'm on the develop branch. I last fetched my origin a couple minutes ago, and I should be good to go. So once you have your code pulled down, open up the PowerShell window and browse to where you saved your code. I saved mine in d:/GitHub Superalgos. And you can see I have my shell set up with some fancy stuff that shows me that I'm in a GitHub repo and I'm on my develop branch. Oh, I didn't tell you all what I'm drinking tonight. Tonight is Alien Shake. It is a pineapple passion fruit Reptoid milkshake IPA by Tired Hands. Pretty good. I would put it up there above a 4. I think I rated it above a 4 on Untapped. It's tasty. Alien. Oh man, I'm totally blanking on the name of it now. Alien Church, that's the name of it, is one of their staple IPAs, and then they make a lot of variations of it, and this is one of those variations. It's delicious. Not too fruity, but does give you a little bit of fruit flavor. So anyway, now we are in our GitHub repo, Superalgos. You can see, you can see we have all of our code here. First thing you're going to want to do is type node setup No shortcuts because I don't want shortcuts on my desktop. It'll go through and set everything up for you. Takes a minute. It does a few things. Kind of cleans up some of the old directories. And there you go. So now we type node platform. If we type it correctly. I like to do min memo and no browser because I'll just load it up myself. And there you go. Now we're running. So we come over here, load up localhost, 34248 is the port. And we have our GUI running. This also takes a little bit of time to load. Hopefully we get some help on the front end eventually and get the docs moved out into their own website. That'll help out, I believe. But it's totally functional and usable as it is. So no complaints. Not too many complaints. Everything can always be made better. That's my motto. All right. So when you first load it up, you get to the welcome getting started tutorial. I'm just going to hit stop to close that out. Go over to the workspaces. And I'm going to load up actually, I'll show you this first. If you go over to docs, and I believe if you search for governance system, I think that's what you search for. Governance overview. This may not be what I want. Let's see if we can just browse for it. As you can see, there is a lot of stuff in the docs here. And a lot of good information. And I think I missed it. Did I miss it? I must have missed it. Or maybe it's not on the first page here. Let's look it up again. Let's see if we go in here. And I'm going to... There's supposed to be a page before this. What that I'm trying to look for. Maybe this is it? No. Tutorials. No. What am I looking for? Probably should have prepped a little bit better for this. Governance overview, governance workspaces, other governance workspaces. I wish I could click on these breadcrumbs. Governance overview. Nope. Nope. Don't hit back. Don't hit the back button. That doesn't help. Well, we'll get there eventually. And again, it takes a little bit to load. All right. So I already know that I want to load the token distribution Superalgos plugin workspace. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Somewhere there is a doc that tells you to do that. I will find it eventually, maybe another time. And I thought that this was supposed to pop up a tutorial. Governance tutorial. Maybe that's what I want to look for. Nope. Mm-hmm. Where am I? Governance programs. This, I think, is what I wanted to look up. Maybe not. Anyway. All right. Creating your profile tutorial. Let's play that. There we go. So, if you follow these steps, it will take you through. If you already have a something like Trust Wallet, you can use that as your wallet for Superalgos. If you don't have one, this will create a wallet address for you. And it will create secret keys for you, which you will need to save and make sure that you have them stored in a safe space. I'm not going to read all of this. You definitely should if you want to go through this. So here, this is where we start. Click Add the Profile Constructor. And we have to expand. No, we don't. Where did it go? Did I have to double click? And I lost my node. Governance projects. Add. Where did it go? Is this because I'm running on the latest develop? I'm expanded. That's not doing anything. Well, great. Let's try one of my other nodes that is not quite as up to date. Running a little bit older code. 34248, right? So it's much slower. Hopefully that's just a bug because I'm running on latest develop and not master. Ah, you're right. I'm not wearing my Superalgos t-shirt. I do not have one at the moment. And I was actually wearing a green t-shirt earlier, and then I was about to start, and I realized that wearing a green t-shirt in front of a green screen is not a good idea. So let's see. I was looking for the token distribution Superalgos. This is probably going to take a little bit longer to load. That's really weird that this won't work. But yeah, I didn't see it add a new node. All right. Try it over here. All right, so we go here, we click add. Oh, boom, there it is. Okay, so that is definitely a bug in the latest code. There's a little bit of restructuring of the code going on, and so the latest develop is definitely a little bit buggy. So what we want to do is I'll start my tutorial back up just so I don't miss anything. So we added our new profile node, our constructor. So this is what creates your wallet for you. So let's click on the, So mine, I already have this all set up, but I'm going to put in a dummy splat Superalgos testing. And if you already have a trust wallet that you want to use, you can put the recovery words, the phrases, into this space here, the mnemonic, and then you'll essentially link your old. All right, new follower, Mexican Nemesis. Hello. Ah, yes. P Love. I don't know how you pronounce your name. I always call it P Love. Yes, if you are storing these keys after the fact, and I'll definitely get into this, you do not want them to be unencrypted on a hard drive, not backed up. Definitely want to make sure it is somewhere secure, locked away, only you can get to it. Cloud storage, like Google Drive and stuff like that, is probably better than nothing, but it's definitely not the safest place to put it. If you've been following security, have an iPhone, anything like that, I'm sure you've heard of people having their iCloud drives broken into, having their naked pictures released on the internet, things like that. So cloud storage is not necessarily super secure, but it may save you from having your hard drive crash and losing it. I know that if you're on Windows, you're an Office 365 user, the Windows Office, what is it called? OneDrive. They now have a secure storage part of their OneDrive. And I would definitely put this in there. Locking it with GPG is good. I'm a big fan of 1Password. So I would highly recommend using 1Password or something like it to store not only creating your own passwords and things like that, but storing encryption keys, GPG key passwords, SSH passwords, things like that. But anyway, plain text files on your hard drive are better than pushing it up to GitHub, I guess, but not as good as storing it somewhere encrypted and private. Um, the directory that these keys get spit out into is ignored by Git by default, or at least it's added to the Git ignore file. So you should be protected. You'll want to double check before you make your PR and before you push, but you should be protected about not pushing up your keys to GitHub. Anyway, I'm going to make this from scratch, so I'm not going to put the mnemonic in there. Cloud storage can be fine. Yep. If you encrypt it first. Another thing that I've done before on a Mac is create an encrypted DMG file. You can make an encrypted zip file. You can make all kinds of encrypted different things, but make sure it's not plain text. Bitwarden. I haven't heard of Bitwarden before, but yeah, that's probably a good alternative as well. Yeah, there's a lot of it's another one. KeyPass is one that I used to use when I was working primarily on Linux. That's free and open source. So anyway, let's keep going through this. So now we're gonna click on build profile. And you can see we have our constructor, which we can move out of the way and delete. So it created a unique SA token. Let's see. I am now on, what am I, 232. So that's this host. Oh, right. Yeah. This is all in Docker too. So I'm going to get into my Docker container. Oh, I'm not going to. This is going to be fun. I can't remember where these files are stored. Is it in data storage? No. My secrets. Where are my secrets? Oh, okay. I don't have it. All right, I'll have to show where to save those files out at another time, because I don't know where they are at the moment. So if we look inside here, this is what it's telling us to do. We have a whole bunch of stuff. We have signatures. Back up the key. Did it tell me where the key is? No. Back up the contents of the constructor for safety. Oh, boom, right there. I thought it got spit out to a file locally. Okay, so I guess it puts it right there into the constructor configure area. So make sure you copy this stuff out. Make sure you save it somewhere secure and backed up. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm just going to throw this all away. I'm not going to actually push this up. And now it's telling me to delete the constructor. Oops, did I close out? I guess I did. Oh, and I'm starting back from the beginning. So there we are. Back up the key. Delete the constructor. Now we've got program partners. So if we open this up, the token power switch, you can add the onboarding programs, and then we can add the airdrop and the GitHub program. These are the two things that basically anybody, as soon as they make their profile, will get free tokens. The GitHub program, as soon as you star and watch, I believe you get your 1,000 tokens. Go ahead and close that for now. But you can see already showing 1,000 tokens. And talking about GitHub and the airdrop. And then it wants you to hit Control Shift Alt and the S key. This, for some reason, does not work for me. Control Shift Alt S. Oh, it did. I did see that the plugin was saved. Boom. Okay. So yeah, showing that my plugin was saved. For some reason that wasn't working for me the other day. So now we can do the community building. And I'll let you read through all the rest of all this. And you'll want to add the referral program. And you'll want to user refer. And if you're really cool, you're going to go ahead and find me. And I think this is where these cool new buttons. So I think I want to do the save node to be moved. No, maybe not. That might have been wrong. I want to do this one. I want to move this node over to here. So then I click on the snap save node to position. No. That did not work. What do I have to do? Pin it. Pin. Save the node to be moved. And then snap. Ah, there it is. So now if I right click, I can then say that Splat myself referred me to the project. And then I can unpin and boop, goes back. And then this error should go away in a second. Hopefully. Add a user refer. Already did. All right, so let's do it again. Oh, there it goes. So if we want to do somebody else, we can copy, save the node to be moved. And then we can find plove. And then click snap. And then we right click on our user refer. You see the yellow ring dancing around it. And now we're linked. And you can see the very faint trail line going in between the two. And unpin and boom. So that's how you set up those refers. And as we mentioned, your GitHub profile name is your referral code. So if you're watching these videos, you like what I'm doing, it got you interested in running Superalgos, and you want to say thank you to me, you link me here under the referral program. You can load up other people's profiles, and then you can link them. There's a whole bunch of other things to do. And then let's see. So now they're going to talk about how you can set this percentage. I'm going to copy that. As we go over here, you'll see that there's 0 token power, 50%, 50% going up to onboarding. So by default, it splits. There's 2 branches coming off of this token power switch. And this says nothing right here. So I can change this to 0 because the onboarding program doesn't need any token power to work. It's just automatic. And you can see that now it's dropped down to 0%. And 100% of my token power is going to the community building programs. And if I put in a value here of, let's say, 50%, it will use that value. And so I'll be losing 50% of my token power. But it can be saved for later, or I can just reset it back to a empty brackets and get it back to doing the automatic calculation. And you can do that on a lot of these different branches. So this one you can change the referral because there are these other programs. So you can add these all in, and then they'll all get split up evenly at first. And you can say, I want nothing to go to the influencer program. And I want the new membership mentorship program to get 75%. And then I want the other 2 to just pick off whatever is left. So that's how those configurations work. The mentors program, if you read through this, is all about giving some love back to the people that help you in the support channels. It's always nice to, basically give them tips. And then this is going to walk through how to add your Github.com authentication into the program here. I personally don't like doing this. I would much rather use GitHub Desktop to push up my changes and make my PR, or the command line. I'm much more comfortable on the command line. I use it every day. Been using it for years. But I know everybody has their own way of doing things. Putting things in here is definitely easier for people who are not as well oriented with GitHub and programming and development and everything like that. I believe that there are some other tutorials that go into more information on how to do this. And I guess actually probably this docs page is probably what does it. But you'll want to type in app contribute user profile, and you can do it right here in the search box. And it will go ahead and do the GitHub things for you. And then the next step is getting a wallet on your phone or somewhere else. And again, we have docs for how to import it. So that's the basics. I think where most people get hung up is they don't start with their own fork, and they try and just pull the main project, and then they don't have permission to contribute back to it because, random people on the internet are not necessarily trustworthy. So creating your own fork allows you to push your own code to your own repo, and then you can create a pull request. They all get put underneath this little tab here. And then the people in charge of the program can decide if they want to merge your code or not. There is a bot that if everything checks out as it should, the PR is created by the correct person, the profile references the correct name, probably does a few other checks, but making sure that it's on the develop branch, not master, it will automatically merge it for you. So essentially, as soon as you do that app.contribute step, your profile will be available and you will start participating in the governance program. There's some other nodes under here that you may want to start looking into after that if you want to start participating in voting. If you are making contributions back to the project, we have a whole bunch of new efforts going on, like marketing and the UI, all kinds of things that you can help out with. You can go ahead and start setting up claims for different things that you are doing, different pieces of code that you've contributed, if you fix typos in the docs, if you contribute different languages, things like that. But anyway, I think that's as much as I'm going to get into this tonight. So, yeah, if you have any other questions, find us on Telegram, find us on Discord, ask us questions. Make sure you look it up in the docs. Make sure you look it up in the tutorial because there is a lot of really good information there, and a lot of people did put a lot of work into that information. So anyway, I'm going to stop there with that. And then let's talk about announcement bots. And I'll jump back over to my main faster computer here. I already have my Slack channel open. This is a really old project that I made for myself when I was developing something called Infratest for SaltStack in another life. But I will show you how to... I'll do Slack and Discord because they're pretty simple. They're very easy. You can make your own Discord or Slack channel or server all on your own very, very simply. And yeah, I'll just start on this, getting started tutorials. So, very first thing is we will go find the nodes, and you'll see that they are available on backtesting. It's the social bots. And they are also available on the production trading tasks under the live trading session, add social bots. So if you click that button, you'll get a Twitter bot, Slack bot, Discord bot, Telegram bot. I guess there is a little bit of a bug in that I can sit here and click this button all day. Oh, I guess I only get 2. Maybe more? Nope, just 2. But then they start acting weird. Oh, nope, there's a whole bunch of them. So yeah, I would call that a bug. Needs to be fixed. So make sure you just click it once. Otherwise you get a whole bunch of these. They do delete now because I fixed a problem that I introduced by accident, where instead of a lowercase t, I started Twitter with a capital T, and it did not like that. And man, everything's a little bit wonky. All right, I'm just going to pin it and put it right there. I'm going to get rid of Twitter for now. I'm going to get rid of Telegram bot for now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to delete that. I'm going to do it on the Lightning Strike session, backtesting. So we add our bots, get rid of Twitter, get rid of Telegram. We'll leave Discord and Slack. So if you click on the configure button, you'll see you need a webhook URL. And you have a little bit of a description here of where to get it from. You'll want to replace all of this text with the actual URL. That URL has your specific token identifiers in it. So it's not really secret, but you do want to kind of treat it like a secret, because otherwise people can just post whatever they want to your channel. These are going to be post only. These are not going to be like an IRC bot, or I guess a Telegram bot is a little bit more where you can do slash commands and things like that. These are literally just posting information, announcements out of your trading system into a channel. Oh, hi, Abjeet357. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It's a pleasure to have you here. So anyway, sorry. I will start with Slack. Slack is the same thing essentially. You want to get your webhook URL. Slack is becoming a little bit more not difficult, but what's the word I'm looking for? Involved, I guess, in terms of creating your app and getting your webhook. So when you're in your channel, you'll want to find manage apps. And then you'll want to go over to build and create an app from scratch. And I'm going to call this Superalgos bot test. And I'm going to put it in my info test. And I'm going to do incoming webhooks, activate, add a new webhook. I'm going to put it in, let's just put it in my random channel and allow. Now you'll see I have this webhook URL. I want to copy it. I want to go back over here, put my configure, copy all that text or highlight it and paste. And now, if that worked correctly, I should be able to hit, that was the test button. And then I come over here to random and hey, I've got a test message. So now if I go over to my trading system, you can find various places where you have this add announcement button. And let's see, we have it on create order. We have it on cancel order. We have it on, let's see, I'm going to delete that node just because it's noise. We have it on the open stage. We have it on the trigger stage, manage, close. Every time we create an order. So what I am going to do, let's add an announcement on, let's just add it here on the create order event. So you can do a condition, you can do a formula. I'm going to do the formula. If you don't want to have a formula, you will get default text that just says, type the message you wish when there's no formula. So I can say like, hello world. This is a buy order. Sure. If you do want to do a formula, let's see if I can find my Slack bot. I think I wrote some docs on this. Nope. Slack. Social bots. I think I put some, I thought I put a little bit of information in here about what you can do in the maybe it was on the Discord bot. Aha. So a couple of things that I did was I started trying to make a very rough templating system. So if you want to change the format of the message that's coming through, you can. The default will look like this, where it says Binance, BTC, USDT, backtesting session, Lightning Strike has started. And then it will always be prefaced by Binance, BTC, USDT, and then your message. So this text here saying, excuse me, hello world, this is buy order, will come through saying Binance, BTC, USDT, hello world, this is buy order. If you want to do something else, you can put in, where is it? It must be under the Telegram bot. Maybe not. Yeah. Okay. So maybe not. I thought some of these came through. I keep hitting the back button by accident. I'll have to find a better example. Let me see if I can find. One of my own examples. I thought I had it listed in the docs. And I think I just lost all that information that I was just working on. Social bots. Let's see if we can find this. Maybe it's on the documentation for the node itself. So if we go out here and we add our announcement back in, The announcement formula. No. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can find, what did I do here? Oh, okay. Yeah. So here's an example that's much better. Let's delete this, edit our formula. And if you can't read this, it says, in quotes, limit by place at candle close value, close quote, and then a plus symbol, because that's how you concatenate in JavaScript. And then the variable is trading engine dot trading current dot trading episode dot candle dot close dot value. And so you end up with, let's see. Well, we'll run a test here. I'm going to modify this real quick so it doesn't just totally spam the crap out of Slack, because most of these services, if they are doing things correctly, do have API limits. And if you hammer their system with multiple requests per second, most of the time you will get banned or throttled at the very least, and you won't be able to send messages for a while. So you want to try and be a good netizen and not send too many messages. Otherwise, people will not like you. So I'll delete the condition there. So what I did was I said that I want this cancel order event to happen when the period's value is greater than or equal to 30. Since this is going to be running at the 1 minute, it basically says I want this limit by order to stay open for 30 minutes and then close it and open a new one if it didn't close. Get filled otherwise. And that's the only one that we're going to do because I don't want to cause too much havoc. And I did not save my key here. So I have to add it back in. Delete the Discord bot. And I need to get my webhook URL. We paste. And let's set our time range to 2001, 9:01. Time frame is a minute. I'm going to make sure I set this to Binance US because I am in the US. And I believe I already have data pulled down for Binance US. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to rename this to demo. I'm going to save. Let's run our data. Edit this to start on January 1st of 2021. Make sure we're up to date. Apparently I was not up to date. It's a good thing I checked. Anyway, I guess while that's updating, I'll show you how to do it in Discord. So I'll go ahead and add a new server for me and my friends. I will call it Sweetbread Server. And now I want to go to Edit Channel. I want to go to Integrations. I want to create a webhook. And I'm going to call it Captain SA. Save the changes. Copy the webhook URL. Now I come back over here. I add my Discord bot. Configure. put in my webhook URL, send my test message, and hopefully, boom, got my test message in Discord. Super simple. So once our data is up to date, this is going very, very slow. Oh, I was talking to somebody in the developer channel about how to put in console log messages. If you are trying to make sure that a value is what you expect it to be, or if you are running into an error and you're not sure exactly where it is, you think you know where it is, but you want to make sure. If you can't run a regular IDE, or I guess a more advanced IDE with a debugger, and if opening up developer tools doesn't give you that information, looking in the console, so you can see we have a bunch of errors that need to be fixed. You can always do something that is pretty cool and old school. Basically, echo console log. I like to put a little debug at the beginning here. Make it stand out a little bit more. Cancel order step. And let's say we'll take our value. Let's call it periods. Just make it a little bit shorter. And then the plus symbol to concatenate. Oh man. Copy, paste. And so now we should get a console message telling us what the value of the periods is every single time we get to this node in the operation. This also works on formula nodes. And if you want to do custom code nodes. So one thing, I guess another thing to mention, that I just recently discovered, or I discovered it a while ago, and I forgot about it, rediscovered. It's not readily apparent, but if you go to something like the open stage and you click on add missing items, you get this closed stage event, which I usually just delete, but you get this user defined code also. So you can do user defined code. Oh, and of course I missed my open brackets. One thing I've been doing recently is I was running into a bug, or I thought that this would work a little bit different than it actually works. Under the trading system, you can access pretty much all of the data of what is going on in the trading system at that moment. And I thought that with these buy orders happening over and over again in this lightning strike, that I could, when I got to the manage stage, how it says if the last limit order value name is limit buy, then you set it to the last limit order rate value. So I started running into bugs with this. So this is that node that it's supposed to be referencing. So in order to kind of work around it, if you go to trading episode under trading current, you'll have these user defined variables. So you can copy the node path. You can set an initial value. But then you can do something like set that to equal 0 for, so you know you're in your buy stage, your open stage. The other thing you want to do on these user-defined code spaces is toggle when you want it to run. Entering the stage, exiting the stage, in the stage, and then if it's in the stage, do you want to run first or last? And I've been setting this exit to run on exit to be true. So that'll tell me that I just had a buy and now I'm at 0. And then if I come over here to my close stage, I can do something very similar. And I can say, now set this to 1. So that's my shift, close stage, whatever. So that's how you can use console log and how you can set these values if you need them. Sorry, I want this one. Configure, and I'm going to set it to run on the exit of the stage also. Let's check our indicators. We are still updating. I guess another thing I could do is I could console.log so that'll show me what that value is there. And then I will console.log the value here as well. So you can see how it changes. All right. And now we are doing the resistances and supports. Almost done. I thought I had all this data already downloaded and already in place. As I've noted before, Binance is definitely the most tested and the exchange that most people use. And it also seems to have, at least for using this bot or a bot, seems to be the most useful and receptive to using a bot like this, pulling in tons of history, not having a huge, an unbearably bad API limit for pulling in that history. I've run multiple markets and pulled data from it all at the same time and don't run into any glitches where they suspend me or throttle me or anything like that. The other two that I have been using here in the US are Coinbase and Kraken. Coinbase Pro. They both have API limits set on them, and they are a lot higher. All right, a new follower. Too fast for you. Hello and welcome. So anyway, Coinbase Pro and Kraken, they both work. Kraken doesn't give you a lot of history, so trying to run backtesting isn't really, I don't know, that useful. You can only get like 12 hours of back history in terms of raw data. And Coinbase Pro used to be a lot slower. I'm not sure what changed. Their API limit is like I think it's 3 API calls per second. So basically 1 API call every third of a second. And getting the raw data used to be extremely slow. It's now about the same speed as pulling data down from Binance. But as soon as you start running multiple exchanges at once, you have to make sure that you come over to... Oh, I don't have it on here. All right, we're going to look at the untested exchanges here. Let's see. So I will detach Kraken just because I was talking about it. And I'll go ahead and detach Coinbase Pro from the untested just so I can show you what I was talking about. Just going to move them up to the testing queue. And then if you come into the exchange here, I'll find it in the docs. Coinbase Pro. If you come into the testing status page, you'll see that you need to add in this extra API block with an API limit of at least 300 for fetching the OHLCVs. And what I have found is that 300 really needs to be multiplied by however many markets you're running at the same time. So if you're running 2, obviously make that limit 600. And the same thing for Kraken, but Kraken's API limit is 1 per second. So you're going to set that API node to 1,000 because these are in milliseconds. And then for every market that you are running, you are going to want to multiply that by the number of markets. So 2, set it to 2,000, 3, 3,000, etc. All right, now our data should be good and ready. Nope, still going. What else? Coinbase Pro and Kraken both seem to have just about as many pairs as you can trade on Binance. There may be a few ones that are different. Ever since Coinbase Pro went public, or Coinbase went public, they've been putting in a lot more effort to essentially listing every single coin that they can. So in the last couple of months, they really expanded what coins, what markets you can trade. Everybody, I would say right now, is super hot on Shiba Inu. So that just got added recently. That just got added to Binance also, I believe. I think I saw that within the last couple of days. But yeah, I guess I might as well talk about this while we're waiting. If you want to add new markets, very first thing, there's a tutorial on this. There's a lot of docs on this. Come over to your exchange assets, configure, you'll want to make this whatever quoted asset you want: USDT, USDC, Euro, dollar, DAI, Binance, BUSD, whatever you want. But set this to something to search for or filter on. And then you can go ahead and hit add missing assets if you want. It'll go ahead and add in everything it can that can be traded with USDT. And these are just essentially the raw coins themselves. Then you want to go to markets and you want to hit add missing markets. And this is where the pairs get set up. So from here, I generally go through and start trimming this out to ones that I don't want, probably won't ever trade, or I may trade in a much later time. Or find the ones that I specifically do want and only leave those. So maybe do, I don't know, whatever. ETH, BTC, I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Generally, anything that's BTC bottom quoted, I don't trade. So I go ahead and delete those out first to kind of make it a little bit more manageable. Anything that's base ETH, I don't trade, so I delete those out. USDC and USDT, I trade both. And it really depends on what I'm really trying to do. DAI, I don't really mess with. So you can just start going through and thinning this out. But then when you find one that you do want to install or to use, open up your market or hover over your market and you'll click install market. Screen will freeze for a moment while it does a whole bunch of work in the background. If something like this pops up, just hit wait or just let it go away and it'll finish. And then you'll see you have your data mining, you have everything underneath the machine learning, even though we don't have machine learning installed. You have your algorithmic trading, testing trading tasks. You have your, I guess that's one thing that came out different. This is because of the new beta, or beta 12. We're getting ready for all the code bases being restructured a little bit. All the trading type things are being moved under an algorithmic trading section, I guess is what I would call it, of the project. That's really interesting that it installed both here for us. I'll go ahead and delete that. And I didn't realize that the production trading for Binance US was still under foundations. That's left over from old beta 11 and prior. But you can see we've got our new Kraken under data storage everywhere. I'm not going to use it right now, so I'll just make it smaller. But anyway, our data should now be up to date. Yep, 100%. Let me close out here. Minimize. All right, so let's run our backtesting session. And we should, so start on our lightning strike task. I always wait until I see the little yellow text here, and then I click run. And you can see we already got one message saying, hey, testing has started. And in our Discord, backtesting session started. Whoa. And now you can see all of our messages coming through. So if you wanted to know how to spam Slack, that's how you do it. And you can see that our code came through saying the limit buy was placed at candle close value. And we have the same thing here. Discord obviously rate limited us, whereas Slack did not. And then we got our final daytime reach and the backtesting finished. So I think that's it for tonight. That's how you do it. What did we cover? We went over the governance system, how to create your profile, how you get your keys, how you can import your Trust wallet if you already have a Trust wallet and you want to use it for collecting the tokens with the governance system. We went over the social bots, how to configure the Slack bot and the Discord bot, how to add an announcement to a part of your trading system, how to set up the different messages that it can send, and what else did we do? We talked about the user-defined code and the user-defined variables. Oh, I didn't show you what our messages look like in the console. Excuse me. So here's all of our debug messages. When we were saying what our different values are supposed to be, this is where you find all those console.log messages in your console. So, pretty cool. Very useful for debugging. The console logs are a much, I guess, old school way of debugging, but still very useful. Where did all our text go? So with that, I'm going to call it a night. I will catch you all next week. Check in to Telegram and Discord. Find me on Twitter, Superalgos. Make sure you follow me here on Twitch. I'll be posting this video up on YouTube, so go ahead and like and subscribe over on YouTube. And if you get set up in the governance system, make sure you set me as a referral. I will appreciate that. And I will see you all next week. Catch you on the flippy floppy.